I'm Courtney, and this is the Accounting Struggle, where we speak about our struggles with accounting openly and honestly. We do not run from them. And today's video is all about how I survived my broke college phase. So the reason why I wanted to do this video is because it is now May and most people are graduating. And if you graduated in accounting and you have a job lined up, first of all, congratulations. I noticed though that accounting jobs, or at least in my experience and in the experience of many other accounting graduates, accounting jobs start way after you graduate. Like, I graduated in May of 2016. I started my full-time job, which I had already secured. I started that in October of 2016. So that's 5 whole months of not having a job, even though I have a job lined up. So yeah, I was broke. And I was broke while I was in college too. So just a fun backstory. I grew up broke my whole life, so it wasn't like a huge adjustment, but there were some things that I had to make adjustments to. So there were a few things that I had to do because I did come off of a full-time job, and then as my courses got more and more complicated, I decided to stop working full-time when I was in college. So I had to make some adjustments because I still had my financial obligations like my mortgage, my car insurance, my car note, all types of other stuff. So I still had to pay those bills, and yeah, I was broke. So here's how I did it. There were several things that I did while I was in school, and then I'll talk a little bit about how I survived my 5-month period after graduating. So while I was in school, I did do a work study. I qualified for it. I don't think everyone does, but because I was poor, I qualified for a work study, and I took advantage of that. I was making $7.50 an hour at my work study. I was working 15 hours a week. So I wasn't making a lot of money, but I just needed something to help, like for gas, food, toiletries, you know, basic essentials for living for that semester. So I did live off campus. I never lived on campus. I commuted, and it wasn't a far drive at all. It was like 15 minutes away. So it wasn't a huge commute. I didn't have to buy a meal plan or pay for any like expenses on campus. So that was one thing that helped. But I did do my work study, and it wasn't something that really took up a lot of my time, and I just studied and did work did schoolwork while I was doing my work study. I would do a little bit of like fetching mail and answering phones, but most of it was just me studying anyway, so it was perfect. It didn't impact my, it didn't have an impact on my grades at all. So if you qualify for work study, if you're able to do that, even if it's literally minimum wage, if you don't have any additional income coming in, that $200 is a lot more attractive, or $300, however much it is. So definitely take advantage of that if you have the opportunity to do so. Another thing that I did was I would get a refund check because I was taking out student loans to pay for school. Definitely wish I didn't have to do that, but it is what it is. I did that, and I was getting a refund, and I used my refund check to pay all of my bills for the semester. So I would calculate how much I needed for my mortgage, my insurance, my gas, all of that stuff, and I would split it out however long this semester is. This is how much it's going to be per month, and I think I might have even had enough to leave myself like $50 per month for like emergencies. I don't know what type of $50 emergencies I thought I was going to have, but that was what I did, and it worked out because the work study was obviously not going to be enough to pay my actual bills, but that money was something that I used to pay for things like, you know, just putting gas in my car so I can get back and forth to school, paying for food, you know, toiletries, very, very basic essentials. Because I was commuting, I did have to find somewhere to park my car because I was on campus literally all day. I would show up around 8 in the morning. I would leave sometimes not until like 11:30 at night. So parking on the street was what I did. It was in the city. I parked on the street, and from 8 a.m. until about 2 p.m. Some streets was like 4 p.m. They would have 2-hour parking. It's free. There's no charge, but you have to move your car every 2 hours. So I moved my car every 2 hours. I would work my schedule around this. I knew exactly what time the parking people were coming around in their lime green vests. I knew when to look out for them. I had reminders and alerts set on my phone, and I moved my car every 2 hours. So that was what I had to do. It was not convenient at all, but it was way cheaper than paying however much hundreds of dollars for parking pass and parking 2 or 3 blocks away from my classes in the parking deck. Did not have the luxury of doing that. So I just moved my car every 2 hours. So that was what I did. If you don't have to pay for parking, I would suggest not paying for parking. If you have a friend who lives nearby, you can park at their house or something like that. Definitely do that. Because I didn't have a meal plan, I would do things like when I had people who were on campus with me, like I had one friend who would let me use swipes sometimes to get food, but I wasn't usually needing to do that. She was just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna get food, I'll swipe you, and I was like, okay, cool, great. But when I knew that when that friend had graduated and I still was there, I didn't just go around asking people for swipes, although that is a thing. I didn't do that. But what I did do was I brought my own food to school. So I would bring food, put it in my car. I had like a little lunch box that kept everything nice and cold, and I had all the food that I would need for the day. I would pack things that didn't require any microwaving or any of that kind of stuff. So basically salads. But it was easy. Salads, sandwiches, anything that I could just keep cold, especially in the spring semester because it was winter. January, February, my stuff stayed cold. It was perfect because I would just leave it in the car, and in between classes, I would go to the car, grab my food. It was great. So I would make my own coffee, bring my own tea bags, so that all I needed to do was just get hot water from the Starbucks. Doing little things like that saved me a ton of money because meal plans were hundreds of dollars, and it wasn't like it was delicious and nutritious food. So if you don't have to have a meal plan, don't get one. There are some students that I think have to, especially if you live on campus, but if you don't have to have one, skip it. So those are kind of the things that I was doing basically throughout my entire college semester, throughout the time that I was there. Now my final semester I was working. I did do an internship, so I was getting paid, and that was pretty good money, but I wasn't working full time. I was only doing 20 hours a week, so that was enough to replace my work study, and I was just doing the internship, and that was enough to pay for my bills and still have a little bit of money to live off of. Not a lot, but just enough to get by, so it was fine. I obviously avoided activities that cost money. If it was like a close friend's birthday or something like that, and I had to go and I had to have something to wear, oh, we're going out, then I would make it work. I would borrow clothes from my sisters because that was always easier. I have a ton of sisters, so I would do stuff like that, or I would just let them know yeah, I don't really have any money, I can't go out, and they would always offer because they're just good friends, so they would just pay for me. Or I would keep my spending to a very bare minimum. So if we're going out and I know I really don't have any money, I might have $30, then yeah, I'm just drinking one drink, and I am not getting appetizers, I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. I'm just keeping it real basic, right here at the basic level. And I was only doing that if I absolutely had to, if it was a special occasion. Other than that, I was saying, no, I really can't right now, I'm so sorry. So if you can avoid going on trips and buying new clothes and who you getting fly for? You're not going anywhere, you're just studying for the exam. So if you can avoid that kind of spending, it will really help you in the end. Now once I graduated, it was great, now I'm about to start working soon. I'll be out of this broke college phase. I'll be able to live a normal life. Life will be great. But I knew that I still had 5 months ahead of me. So 5 months is an eternity when you do not have a lot of money or any money, and you're not going to be working and making money. So I decided that I was not going to get a job for that 5-month period, although most people could do that. And if you can do that, great. I knew that I needed to focus 100% of my time on studying for the exam. In retrospect, I should have just got a job because as you know, I didn't pass the exam in that time, but I definitely could have gotten a job. But like I said, I spent 40 hours a week in the library. I was very committed to studying, and that was my job. So I avoided getting a job. And if you are not able to get a job for that small period of time, but you can still work, you can still do Uber Eats, or you can still do the grocery pickup thing, do that. Do whatever side hustles you can do. If you do hair, or if you have some type of skill where you are great at graphic design or whatever, you can make a couple extra dollars on the side. Do that in the meantime. You don't want to go and commit yourself to a full-time job in that middle period if you know you're going to have a job that's starting in a few months, because Like, why? If it's a summer role and they're fine with that, great. But if you're about to waste someone's time onboarding you as an employee and you know you have another job coming up, don't do that. That's trifling. So if you're like me and you are not going to be working in the meantime between graduating and starting your full-time job, you're just going to be studying and focusing on the CPA exam or whatever certification you're taking for accounting, which I think it should be the CPA exam. If you are going to be doing that, these are the things that I had to do to survive my broke college phase. Or my post-grad broke phase. So what I did was I got money for graduation. It wasn't a lot of money. It was maybe like a couple $1,000s. It wasn't a ton of money. Or maybe it was a few $1,000s. It wasn't a lot of money. But I definitely used every single dime of it to pay all of my bills. There were a few bills that still were like, I'm gonna be like maybe a month shy of bills, but it was enough to like take me over the hump. But it was just bills. It wasn't enough money for like groceries or any of that kind of extra stuff. So what I did was I put all of that money to the side, calculated how much I would need each month for living expenses, and I used it to put towards my bills. So you're probably gonna get money for graduation. That's typically what people give you because they know you just graduated from college, you're probably broke. That's usually what people will give you. So definitely don't spend it on a lavish trip to Europe. Spend it on your bills if you know you're not gonna have a job or you're not gonna have income coming in for the next few months until you start your job. So that is what I did, and that worked out for me to an extent because like I said, I was still a little shy. So I also started selling some things that I knew I wasn't going to need. There were a few handbags that I wasn't using anymore, so I sold those on eBay. I sold like some going out clothes because like I wasn't going out because I didn't have any money. So like, where am I wearing these thigh-high boots to? So I sold that kind of stuff, made a couple extra $100s. It wasn't a lot of money. I sold a lot of stuff and literally maybe only made a couple $100s. But if you can sell some stuff online, get rid of some stuff, that would be great. If you have like an old computer that you're not using anymore, or just whatever you got around the house that you can sell and make some money from, definitely do that. The next thing that I did was I started getting into couponing. So this was around the time extreme couponing was a big deal, and I had a friend who was teaching me how to coupon. So I went and bought a lot of stuff in bulk. I bought all of my household items like cleaning products, toiletries, paper products like paper towels, toilet paper, all of that stuff. I bought a ton of it in bulk, and I didn't spend a lot of money at all because I had so many coupons. This was when I was getting like stacks, like books of them directly from, anyway, I had to connect on coupons. So that was a great steal. I know that couponing is not really something that's going on as much. I think that they've made it so that you can't really buy that much stuff anymore. And now with COVID and everything, you really are limited to how many things you can buy, but you can still take advantage of membership discounts. So most stores will do membership discounts. If you give your phone number, every time you shop, you get some type of rewards. If you're gonna shop anyway at these grocery stores or wherever you're shopping, like Target even does it now, where if you're using your Target debit card, you're racking up a certain amount of rewards. If you can do that, you're buying this stuff anyway, you might as well get a discount. Like, download all of the apps to the stores that you shop in. Target has the Cartwheel app. Kroger, my grocery store, Kroger has an app. Lidl is another grocery store that I shop at. They have an app. So just make sure that you're taking advantage of any membership discounts that you can, or any MVP type of things that you can give. If you're just giving your email or your phone number, just make a junk email where all of those junk emails are going to go. And if you're just literally only saving $5 on every grocery trip, it is so worth it. One thing that I noticed about at the time, Kroger was like my main grocery store. They would print on every receipt a little customer survey, and if you did the survey, you just go online, it takes like 5 minutes, you just talk about your in-store experience, and they will give you, I think it was like, I don't know, 100 points, and 100 points is like maybe $10. I would save money on my gas because Kroger was connected to certain gas stations, so I was able to save like 30 cents per gallon on gas just from taking a 5-minute survey. So look for things like that and those types of opportunities on your receipts. See any little extra money that you can save, because I swear to you, when you are broke, it all adds up, and it really, really does matter. I also started paying a lot of attention to how much stuff I was using. So I stopped using so much stuff. So as far as like laundry detergents, soaps, cleaning products. Even though I bought it in bulk, I still wanted to stretch it out for as long as I could. So I was using a lot less stuff. I was using the recommended amount of stuff. So on my laundry detergent, there's a line on the inside that tells you where you should be filling it up for each load. Load 1, 2 loads, 3 loads, this is the line for that. I was paying attention to those types of things and using just that amount. I was only I was buying things in bulk as far as food is concerned. I was buying dry beans instead of, you know, canned beans. Little things like that made a huge difference. I was taking the vegetable scraps. This is how broke I was. So I was taking the, like when you cut a bell pepper, the little part that you're not going to use, or if you're cutting like the ends of the onions and all that kind of stuff off, I would just take it, put it in a freezer bag, and then once I've accumulated enough of that stuff, I would boil it and make vegetable stock out of it, because, you know, times are really that hard. So, you know, it was real out here and I wasn't about to be wasting food. My cheap grandmother would be so proud. So outside of that, I didn't have a lot of time to commit to side hustles because, like I said, I was studying full force for the CPA exam and I just didn't want to commit time to doing anything else. But because I did hair on the side, that helped a little bit. If somebody needed their hair braided and I knew I could make $150 doing that, I'm just gonna take a day to just do that. So if you have those types of skills, definitely take advantage of them. And if you have an opportunity that comes up where you can make some money, and it's something that won't take too much of your time or won't really interrupt your study schedule too much, then I would say take advantage of that. I got an email one day. I was just going through my spam emails because I was taking a break from studying. So I found in my spam email an email from the Virginia Society of CPAs, and they needed some students to help them call all of their members and get them to renew their memberships. So they were willing to pay, I think it was $100 each day, and they had 2 slots. You could pick 2 days so you can make $200. So, I mean, $200 at that time was like $2,000 to me. I was that broke. So I absolutely took advantage of that. I went in and was calling people like, hey, just wanted to let you know your membership is coming up for renewal. Would you like to go ahead and renew that now? I can help you take care of that over the phone. I was doing that for like 8 hours, 2 days. And because I was able to get so many memberships renewed, they asked me to come back for a whole week. And it was amazing. I was the only person who came back for that week. I guess I was really just that desperate. But I've made friends with them now and I keep in touch with them, and it's been a great relationship. But I was able to make a few $100s doing this, and this was so helpful to me. It was kind of like a huge blessing, because yeah, a couple $100s when you are flat broke is like a lot of money. So that really helped me a lot. So if you get any opportunities like that come up, definitely take advantage of them. So going back to the college thing, if you're in recruiting season and you're broke and you are like, oh my God, it's recruiting season, I need a suit to wear. I don't think that my old Steve Harvey suit is gonna cut it. It's too big, it's pinstriped, it's double-breasted, it's just not the look. Or if you are looking for, you know your dress from middle school is just not fitting the same as it needs to fit now. The hips have spread. Totally get it. You do not have to go out here and spend hundreds of dollars or even $100. You don't have to spend a lot of money. One thing that you can do if you are flat broke but you need at least one thing that you can keep wearing to all of your interviews, fret not. You can go to Goodwill, you can go to thrift shops, but this is the key. Go into the really good neighborhoods. Go to those Goodwills. Don't go to the Goodwill that you know does not ever have anything nice. Go to like the really, really rich part of town. Go to their Goodwills and see if you don't find something. You might come up on a Chanel suit. So check there first before you go to even TJ Maxx or Marshall's. Even though those are discount stores that I would recommend as well, go straight to Goodwill. You might be able to find a great suit for like literally $20. So check there first. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You just need to look decent. Buy basic, solid colors. The thing about it is you will probably have one interview with a company and then they might have you come in for a follow-up or lunch or office visit, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I have to wear something different. So just buy basic pieces. White shirts, black pants, black, gray, navy, very basic pieces. We're not giving a look. We're not doing any of this. We're just doing very basic so that when you are repeating these same looks, no one's really gonna notice. And you're a broke college student, so no one's gonna judge you for it. So the final thing that I did was, in terms of my finances, like I said, I had already had like adult bills that I had to continue on, even though I had started out in this college venture. I did a balance transfer on my credit card. Hopefully you have not accumulated any debt and you don't have any credit cards. That would be great. But if you're here and you're watching this and you do have credit cards and now you're broke and you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna pay for this? I did a balance transfer because I had credit card balance from paying for all of my CPA fees. I transferred that from one high interest rate credit card to a promotional rate of like 2.9 or something like that. They do them like every summer. So check with your banks, check with other banks that maybe you don't bank with yet, and see who's running any promotions where you might be able to transfer your balances from other credit cards that are higher rates to lock in a lower rate. That will help you save some money if you already have the debt. If you do not have debt, do not go get debt. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. But if you're here and you're watching this and you got it, yeah, that's what I did. It doesn't usually cost you anything. You just transfer it over. If you have to make payments on something and you aren't sure what you're going to do, you can usually do a 2-month extension on a car loan or any type of like fixed rate loan, like a personal loan. I did do that when it came down. That was like my backup plan. When it came down to it, it got so real for me in these streets that I did have to push my car loan back for 2 months. It's a $60 fee and I get to skip 2 payments. It doesn't impact my credit. It's not a bad thing, but it's not ideal. You don't do it just because you want to like go out for drinks and use the money for that. But I didn't have any money and I couldn't pay it, so I pushed it back for 2 months. So those are some of the things that I did to survive. These are not things that I would do to pay for, you know, concert tickets, unless it's Beyonce, because you know, duh. But yeah, these are not things that you're just doing just because. This is how I survived my broke college and postgraduate phase. Hopefully you're going to be in your job soon and making money and eating well, and you're going to be off of your ramen noodles diet and life will be great. But until then, go to Goodwill, buy your stuff there, use coupons, don't spend money you don't have. Say no to going out because you don't have it unless someone's treating you. Just these are the things that worked for me. So like I said, none of this was a huge adjustment for me because I grew up like super duper poor my entire life. So I already knew how to get in gear. But you know, God is good. I'm eating well and I am not broke anymore. But I wanted to share these tips because I know that, you know, everybody is not able to just call up their parents and ask for money. Everybody does not have a ton of money. Everybody does not come from a lap of luxury. I hope that you're able to get something from this. If you are in your broke college phase, what are some of the things that you are doing to survive? I would love to hear it. Do tell. I'm all ears. But yeah, I really do hope that this video helps. So if you are out here trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, try these things out. If you need to, you know, save a little money or stretch your dollar, give some of these tips a try and see how they work for you. If you have any other ideas to contribute, by all means, let the other strugglers know. We are all out here trying to make $1 stretch. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more like this, just leave me a comment and let me know. If there's something else you want me to cover, let me know. I am at your service. Until then, thank you so much for joining. Do be sure to subscribe. We are here every week. And by we, I mean me. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.